Leg obstruction, for now in the defensive version, but we'll be using both legs right away. Defensive leg obstruction is nothing more than what's commonly called a jam. When the partner tries to kick, we block, without any angular movement. Our lead leg stays at the same angle as it is in the on-guard position. We shift to the rear leg, transferring body weight, and we just lift the leg locked at the knee to block a potential groin kick. If we're wearing shoes, our foot is protected. We block with the whole foot, not with the toes. Closer to the heel, not just the toes, to avoid injury. Second version, using the rear leg. When the partner throws a kick, we block with the rear leg by just swinging the leg up. No bending at the knee, no stomping. The angle remains the same as in the on-guard stance. Whether we block with the rear or lead leg depends on the distance or our balance. If the weight is on the lead leg, we'll block with the rear leg. If our center of gravity is more toward the back or centered, we'll block with the lead leg. And now we just play with that. Partner kicks, we block. Sorry? Clear? Earlier, it was the defensive use of leg obstruction when the opponent had the initiative. But offensive leg obstruction is about control while closing the distance. If I'm moving toward Bartek with, say, a hand attack, there's a good chance he'll catch me along the way. Going from point A to point B, there's a risk of a groin shot. If I know that's likely, because the opponent wants to intercept me while I'm closing the distance for some reason, then I want to do it safely, neutralizing the threat from his lead leg. My lead leg, just like before, doesn't perform a side kick motion or any offensive kick. It's held stiffly in the air. Meanwhile, my rear leg carries me forward with a pendulum step. The defensive version is when I waited for his kick and blocked with the lead or rear leg. But offensive leg obstruction is like this. Of course, we aim near the knee. For training safety, a bit higher, near the thigh. We move, then we enter, distance, step into the leg. For now, we stop there. Later, we'll continue. I got to the distance I wanted, into the clinch or whatever I want to do next. Clear? We did leg obstruction, and now we'll add a stop kick, a much more aggressive technique that involves more hip rotation. It's not yet a full pendulum or a quick advanced step into a side kick. My stop kick is almost like a side kick, but with much more hip rotation than with leg obstruction. With leg obstruction, the hips are aligned just like in on guard. But when Bartek steps in, my stop kick becomes a bit closer to a side kick. It's not a full motion, because there's no room. When he's closing the distance and I try a side kick, I won't make it. There's no space. So the energy comes from the rear leg's rotation and transitions into hip rotation. The stop kick is more aggressive than leg obstruction. Sorry, more aggressive. Because leg obstruction is just leg control without strong offensive entry. When to use which one? If Bartek is attacking the groin with his lead leg, even if he's not using a pendulum step, just like a regular person trying to kick you in the groin with the lead leg, he'll usually step forward with the rear leg first to gain momentum. Whether that's a proper pendulum, where the rear leg launches the lead, or just a crossover to kick, he'll usually move the rear leg first. And in that case, I can just use a jam. But if he wants to kick with the rear leg, he'll usually step in with the lead leg first. We're at a distance where Bartek can't reach me with his rear leg. He'll have to step in with the lead leg, and only then low kick, front kick, groin, doesn't matter. But he'll have to shorten the distance. And when he does that, I don't wait for the kick. I attack his lead leg immediately before he throws the rear leg kick. If he steps in with the rear leg to kick with the lead, stop. If he steps in with the lead to kick with the rear, boom, I don't wait. I intercept aggressively, targeting his lead leg. Now we're just isolating this movement. Partner steps in with the lead leg to strike with the rear. We perform a stop kick. Notice, I don't step in. I just rotate from the rear leg. My energy comes from the rear. Boom, there's the strike. Got it? So the drill is like this. If the partner is striking with the lead leg, we use a stop kick. Whether we block with the lead or rear leg depends on our balance. If the partner is trying to kick with the rear leg, we aggressively enter on his lead leg before he even gets the kickoff. We try to catch him during that step. Do you remember the best timing so that regardless of his size, we can damage that leg? We want to hit right after he sets his foot down, before he shifts his weight forward as he's stepping forward. Now, the moment his heel touches the ground, boom, that's the ideal moment. The leg isn't loaded, and when the leg isn't loaded, the knee joint isn't locked. So regardless of his size, if you hit the knee at that moment, it will hyperextend. It all comes down to distance. Sure, if Bartek wants to kick with the rear leg, I could beat him to it with a straight lead. I could do a bunch of other things. But right now, we're isolating what we've been working on. If he kicks with the lead, we stop kick. If he wants to kick with the rear, boom, we try to intercept. Got it? That's the drill.